Shalom, shalom. So I hope everybody can see me, and I hope everybody can hear me well. Where I'm at there, working on the streets. There's construction going on, so the path is being made smooth, because the Most High said that He would make the crooked straight and that He would make the rough road smooth. So, you can kind of see that going on right now. It's always, what the devil meant for evil, the Most High always turns it around for good. My reasoning for coming on today, though, is I wanted to read something for you. I got this book that I purchased, and you know what I'm saying? You need to go get this book. This book is gonna kind of help you see why things are going on as they are right now. Dealing with Rush and Crimea and all of that. You know what I mean? So I just want to read some things for you because we're living in the age of Aquarius. Where are the age of what they would call information. And so a lot of things are being revealed, you see, because for a long time you have had people, claiming to be the bloodline descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaqub. And this is so because there is an inheritance that comes with being of the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaqub. And so not many people were knowledgeable of this fact. And so Yasharel, wanting to be like the heathen, over the years they lost their identity because the Most High usually would drive us into captivity because of our disobedience. You know what I mean? And so I just want to read this for you to kind of help you understand the reason why this WAR is going on, in the places that they're going on. And for the sake of time, I just say go get the book. I just, advise you to go purchase the book. It's called The 13th Tribe. You know what I mean? And they always say, if you you want to hide something from a person of color, to put it in a book. You know what I mean? And that's so very true. If you want to hide some from somebody, of Negro descent origin, you just put it in a book, because we don't like to read. We you know what I'm saying? We go like off the pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't read a book, we want to see the pictures, and then from the pictures that does the explaining to us, and I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm just, kind of laughably, speaking in general. But the fact still remains that, if you want to hide something from us, you know what I'm saying, you put it in the book, because we don't like to read. And like, I've come to love reading. Over time, I've come to love reading. And it's not a particular pastime that I have been acquainted with frequently, because you have to work, you have to You know, you go to work 12 hours a day. You got to come home and cook and shower and, you know, and about time you done doing that, you watch a little TV and relax and stuff. You want to go to bed so you can get up and do it all again. But, you know, if I had the time, I would definitely read more than usual. I would spend more time reading than doing any other pastime. You know, I kind of find it stimulating to read books. And they say that reading is fundamental, but it's like, you know, when I you know, would find myself in trouble and, you know, find myself, you know, being punished, let's say, for my sins, that I had the time to sit down and, you know, get to read, you know, really sit down and read and understand what I'm reading. Like, you know, my first book that I chose to read was the Bible. So now I got what is called a cipher, you know. So kind of learning, you know, the setup of the cipher is different than the Bible because it takes it back to its original form. I hope you can hear me because it's, like I said, construction going on in the background. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and read some of this for you. You know, because I tagged a few pages, you know, so that you can kind of get an idea. But anytime, you know, go on Amazon, man, and look it up. 13 Tribe. What's the name of the author? The author's name is Arthur Koestler is his name. That's the author's name right there. So, you know, if you want to take a picture or whatever, you can take a picture. Like I said, man, if I had the money and the funds and stuff like that and the time and stuff like that, you know, it's a lot of other books that I would buy to read. And it's a lot of books that I've read. Like, I mean, despite my background of, you know, in schooling and education, you know, reading wasn't one of my best, it wasn't one of my best subjects. So, but anyway, you know, I've, like I said, over time have come to love to read, you know what I mean? So, the guy goes on to say, our investigation cannot go into problems pertaining to the history of ideas, but we must call the reader's attention to the matter of the Khazar kingdom's state religion. It was the Jewish faith which became the official religion of the ruling strata of society. Needless to say, the acceptance of the Jewish faith as the state religion of the ethical non-Jewish people could be the subject of interesting speculation. We shall, however, confine ourselves to the remark that this official conversion in defiance of Christianity proselytizing by Byzantium, or the Byzantine kingdom, the Muslim influence from the East, and in spite of the political pressure of those two powers to a religion which had no support from any political power, but was persecuted by nearly all, has come as a surprise to all historians concerned with the Khazars, and cannot be considered as accidental, but must be regarded as a sign of the independent policy pursued by the kingdom. So it goes on to say, which leaves us only slightly more bewildered than before. Yet, whereas the source differs in minor details, the major facts are beyond dispute. What is in dispute is the fate of the Jewish Khazars after the destruction of their empire in the 12th or 13th century. On this problem, the sources are scant, but various late medieval Khazar settlements are mentioned in the Crimea, which is Crimea. That's where, you know, WAR is going on, right? In Crimea, right? That's what they fighting over, right? In the Ukraine, right? who is the one that's in the Ukraine right now, or that's leading the Ukraine? What's his name? Z. Remember they came out with the movie World War Z with what was his name? I can't think of his name right now, but Brad Pitt. I think that was Brad Pitt in World War Z. In Hungary, Poland, and Lithuania, the general picture that emerges from the fragmented pieces of information is that of a migration of Khazar tribes of communities into those regions of Eastern Europe. And so you see that goes back to Revelations 2 and 9 and Revelations 3 and 9. You see, because what's going on is that, like I stated earlier, that we're in the age of information. We have these handheld computers. There's no way you can say that, well, I didn't know this, because if it's something I want to know, I can at least go online, and the least research that I could do is Google it. You know what I mean? I know there's other methods of, researching and finding information and other sites and things like that to find out information. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that at the least, you could go to Google and Google some of these things. And then you have so many sources on YouTube. You have TikTok. You have all these sources to where people are, like I'm doing, showing you books like this that you can go read for yourself to kind of get an idea of why things are taking place. You know what I mean? Because, a lot of people get mad when you speak out about things like this, because, they want things to stay hidden. Because if the truth don't come out, they can continue to rule, in a certain class, and they not supposed to be there. You see what I'm saying? They can continue to blaspheme the word of the Most High. But anyway, so I ear tag some other spots. I just want, kind of read some of these things out for you. It says, but let's see, hold on before I go there. I think I got it. Okay. Okay, and then here's another one where it talks about the circumstances of the conversion are obscured by legend, but the principal Arab and Hebrew accounts of it have some basic features in common. Al-Musada's account of the Jewish rule in Khazaria, quoted earlier on, ends with a reference to a previous work of his, in which he gave a description of those circumstances. The previous work of Musadi is lost, but there exist two accounts which are based on the lost book. The first by Damski, that's spelled Dimaski, written in 1327, reiterates that at the time of Harun al-Rashid, the Byzantine Empire forced the Jews to immigrate. These immigrants came to the Khazari country where they found an intelligent but uneducated race to whom they offered their religion. So we talking about black Jews came to these places when they were scattered, because oh, excuse me, you have to understand that Tarshish was Italy. When you see the book in the Bible where it says Tarshish, or it says Tyre, Sidon, those names are Tyre and Sidon is right off the coast of northern Africa, or Israel, as that's what you want to call it, by Phoenicia. So it goes on to say that they were an uneducated race to whom they were intelligent, but they were an uneducated race to whom they offered their religion, which, we practice Judaism. You know what I mean? Now we're Messianic Jews, or Yahuda. So, we believe that, the Messiah is coming. You know what I mean? We believe that. The narratives found it better than their own and accepted it. The second, much more detailed account is in al-Bukhari's book of Kingdoms and Roads, 11th century. The reason for the conversion to Judaism of the king of the Khazars, who had previously been a pagan, is as follows. He had adopted Christianity. Then he recognized the falsehood and discussed this matter, which greatly worried him, with one of his high officials. The latter said to him, "O king, those in possession of scarce scriptures fall into three categories. Summon them and ask them to state their case, then follow the one who is in possession of the truth." So these people who are following this belief, they are in possession of the truth. You see what I'm saying? But what they did was, after they got the truth and started to benefit, because anybody can benefit from the word if you're keeping the word. And after they started to benefit, they dispelled the people and hid the people. You know, these were the people that are responsible for the WARs. These are the people that are responsible for that funded the Atlantic slave trade. You know, these are the people who later on in this book are called merchants. You see what I'm saying? So you have to go get this book. It's a must read. And then this goes on to talk about Rush. You know, Vladimir Putin. You know what I'm saying? Ask me again and I'll tell you the same. What's my name? Putin. Ask me again and I'll tell you the same. Well, hey, look. But the rush turned on them and thousands of the Muslims were killed or drowned. The rush continued many months in the seas. When they have collected enough booty and were tired of what they were about, they started for the mouth of the Khazaria River, informing the king of the Khazars and conveying to him rich booty according to the conditions which he had fixed with them. The Ashara, the Muslim mercenaries in the Khazar army, and other Muslims who lived in Khazaria learned of the situation of the Rus and said to the king of the Khazars, "Leave us to deal with these people. They have raided the land of the Muslims, our brothers, and have shedded blood and enslaved women and children." And he could not gainsay them, so he sent for the Rus, informing them of the determination of the Muslim to the fight. The Muslim of Khazari assembled and went forth to find the Rush, proceeding downstream on land from Ital, which is Italy, to the Volga estuary. When the two armies came within sight of each other, the Rush disembarked and drew up in order to battle against the Muslims, which whom were a number of Christians living in Italy, so that they were about 15,000 men. Man, you just got to go get this book. You know what I mean? Because this book is going to really basically explain everything to you. You know, it even goes on to talk about, I think it was Leo the Third or somebody, one of his sons, somebody Slavonic or something like that was his name, Sylvesterlok or something like that. How he took over Crimea, how they fought for Crimea and fought for which is in Ukraine. Man, you just got to go get this book. Like, I don't have enough time to sit here and read it all to you so that you can know everything, but I thought that it would be very imperative, you know, for me to get on here and read some bits and pieces for you so that you can kind of see why the things are taking place that are taking place. Why this WAR is going on in the place that is going on right now. Because, you know, you have to understand that, you know, we're living in a time where the Most High is about to take us back into our land. And before he can take us back into our land, he has to cleanse the land of the heathen, because the heathen trampled. over the land. That is the abomination of desolation. You know what I mean? He say, when you see the abomination of desolation, run from the mountains. That kind of happened in Matthew 24, when it talked about, that was prophesied in Daniel. And the abomination of desolation, it was when Titus and, all the European Romans, ransacked Yasharel. They took over the name, the identity, the religion, everything. And even to the point in this day where, they're building this third temple. You know what I mean? And they're finna go sacrifice in this third temple. You know what I mean? Knowing that they not the bloodline descendants, that those duties were only given to the children of Yasharel, into the bloodline of Levi. But I mean, after Yeshua came, every Israelite man became a high priest and for himself, for his household. You see, but yeah, man, you just got to go get that book. That book is gonna really just kind of help you see why things are going on. And so you have these people, they trying to get back to their land. These are the Khazarian, the Khazars, the Khazarian Jews. They're not from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see what I'm saying? They're not Semitic people. You know what I mean? They're not, people of hue. You know what I'm saying? They're not Semitic. They are, your German Jews, your, Sephardic Jews, your Khazarian Jews. These are the ones. But I mean, like I say, I deal with facts. You know what I mean? I gave you a book. And matter of fact, this author, I heard he was, something happened to him or whatever. But it goes on to read the back, and then I'm gonna get off of here. Costa Stiller tells his story with characteristic zest, treading a lucid, often entertaining path, and throws the light of shrewd common sense on what is known of the Khazar culture. His thesis is intriguing and at several points credible. A stimulating book. This is by George Steiner, The Sunday Times. A fascinating, controversial book. Coster marshals his arguments with great skill. He is certainly very persuasive. Philip Toneby, The Observers. An intriguing book which has to be read. An intriguing book which asks to be read, clearly written and well presented, a brilliant focus on facts, which too few know. Robin Lane Fox, The Financial Times. One of the most interesting books, interesting in its own rights as a narrative of a proud and forgotten race, but also for its possible curative effects among those still influenced by genetico-racial nations of Jewishness. John Cumming, The Tablet. An explosive book by a masterly popularizer of scientific ideas. Keith Brace, Birmingham Post. Yeah, Isha Press International. Man, you got to go get that book, man. You know what I'm saying? Go get that book. It's others out there like that, though. But, yeah, I'll probably be back, man. The Most High been dealing with me about some things, and kind of just got some confirmation on some other things. But I just do a lot of speaking because, like I say, I don't have the support system that others have to be able to, spend my time researching and going through video clips and getting stuff. But, oftentimes, people, they view me because I don't have a lot of followers, but they view my content. I got their little eyes up on me. You know what I mean? And so they watch my video and then, go back and make their content. But that's fine, long as, the word is getting out there, the truth is getting out there. You know what I mean? So, shalom.